First contact. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the UES horizon, humanity's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the star-speckled void. 20 years of space exploration had hardened her resolve, but nothing could have prepared her for what they were about to encounter. Captain, with picking up an anomalous signal, reported Lieutenant Gojpel, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. It's faint, but definitely artificial. The bridge fell silent, the implications clear. They might be on the verge of humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. Origin approximately 500,000 kilometers off our starboard bow, Gojpel continued. It's not matching any known human frequencies. Chen's eyebrow arched. Helm, adjust course. Let's get a closer look. As the horizon approached the source of the signal, a small craft came into view. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, sleek, almost organic in design, with a silvery hull that seemed to shimmer and shift in the starlight. Life signs? Chen asked, her eyes never leaving the alien vessel. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the ship's bevinobiologist, shook her head. Inconclusive. Our sensors aren't calibrated for potential alien biology, but the ship appears to be damaged. Look at the scorch marks on the hull. Chen made a decision. Prep a boarding party. Full containment protocols. I want to know what's on that ship. Hours later, Chen stood in the horizon's quarantine bay, watching through a transparent barrier as Dr. Rodriguez examined the unexpected guest. The alien was small, no larger than a human child, with iridescent scales covering its body and large, multifaceted eyes that reminded Chen of a dragonfly's. It's remarkable, Rodriguez murmured, her voice filled with wonder. Reptilian characteristics, but with a biology so advanced I've never seen anything like it. The alien suddenly stirred, its eyes focusing on the humans. A look of terror crossed its features, and it began to emit a series of high-pitched clicks and whistles. It's afraid, Shen realized. She stepped closer to the barrier, holding up her hands in a universal gesture of peace. We're not going to hurt you, she said softly, knowing the alien couldn't understand her words, but hoping her tone would convey her meaning. The creature's whistles subsided, replaced by a low, mournful trill. It curled into itself, looking small and vulnerable. I believe this alien is just a child, Rodriguez said, her voice tight with emotion, and it's alone. Chen felt a pang in her chest. Whatever had happened to this young alien, it was clear that it had been through a traumatic experience. Despite the potential risks, she couldn't help but feel a surge of protectiveness. Dr. Rodriguez, I want you to do everything you can to make our guest comfortable, Chen said, and get our linguistics team working on communication. We need to figure out what happened. As Chen turned to leave, alarms blared throughout the ship. She raced to the bridge, her heart pounding. Report, she barked as she burst onto the command deck. Multiple contacts approaching at high speed, Captain, Lieutenant Gojpel reported, his face grim. They just dropped out of some kind of faster-than-light travel. I'm not detecting any human signatures, but they're definitely not human. Chen's mind raced. Could these be the alien child's people, coming to rescue it? Or were they the ones responsible for its abandoned state? Hail them, she ordered. Moments later, a harsh, guttural voice filled the bridge, accompanied by a visual of a creature that looked like a nightmarish fusion of insect and reptile. Its mandibles clicked as it spoke, the words translated by the ship's systems. Humans, you harbor a fugitive. Surrender the abomination immediately or face annihilation. Chen's blood ran cold. She glanced at the tactical display, noting the size and apparent firepower of the alien vessels. The horizon was outgunned and outnumbered. I'm Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Horizon, she responded, keeping her voice level. We found an abandoned craft with a single occupant. We are providing humanitarian aid. Please explain the nature of your claim on this individual. The alien's compound eyes seemed to flash with anger. That creature is a blight upon the galaxy, a failed experiment that should never have existed. Its very presence threatens the natural order. You will surrender it, or we will destroy your ship and take it by force. Chen's jaw clenched. Whatever the truth was, she couldn't in good conscience hand over a child, even an alien one, to beings that spoke of it with such hatred. "I'm afraid I can't do that," she said firmly. "This being is under our protection. I propose we discuss this situation diplomatically." The alien cut her off with a roar. "Foolish humans, you know not what you protect. You've made your choice. Prepare to be destroyed." The transmission cut off, and Chen turned to her crew. "Battle stations. All hands. Prepare for combat." As klaxons blared and crew members rushed to their posts, Chen's mind whirled. They were about to enter humanity's first interstellar war, all for the sake of a child they couldn't even communicate with. But as she looked at the faces of her crew, determined and resolute, ready to fight for what they believed was right, she knew they were making the correct choice. "Tactical, arm all weapons," she ordered. "Helm, evasive maneuvers. Comms, send a distress signal to Earth. And someone get our little guest to a secure location." Chen's voice rang out, clear and strong. "We may be outnumbered, but we're not outmatched. Show these aliens what humanity is made of." As the first salvos of energy weapons lit up the void of space, Captain Chen stood tall on her bridge. Whatever the outcome, this day would go down in history. Humanity had made first contact, and they would show the galaxy that they stood for compassion, justice, and the protection of the innocent, no matter the cost. The battle was about to begin, and with it, a new chapter in human history. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath as the fate of two species hung in the balance. Unlikely allies. The UES horizon shuddered as another volley of alien weapons fire slammed against its shields. Captain Sarah Chen gripped her command chair, her knuckles white with tension. "Shields at 63% and falling," Lieutenant Gortpel reported, his voice strained but professional. "We can't take much more of this, Captain." Chen's mind raced. They were outgunned and outnumbered, but she refused to give up. "Helm, execute pattern Delta 99, she ordered. "Weapons, focus fire on their lead ship's propulsion systems. If we can't outgun them, we'll outmaneuver them." As the horizon dove and wove through the barrage of enemy fire, Chen couldn't help but think of that alien passenger. What was so special about this child that warranted such aggression? Suddenly, the ship's internal comms crackled to life. "Captain, it's Dr. Rodriguez," the xenobiologist's voice came through, tinged with excitement and fear. "The alien child, it's trying to communicate." "Pipe it through to the bridge," Chen commanded. A series of melodic trills and clicks filled the air, accompanied by a rhythmic tapping. "It's not random," Yuki Tanaka, the communications specialist, said suddenly. "There's a pattern. I think it's trying to interface with our systems." Chen's eyes widened. "Let it," she said, making a split-second decision. As the alien child's communication was routed through the bridge's systems, the holographic displays flickered and changed. Complex equations and diagrams appeared, swirling in three-dimensional space. "My God," Chen breathed. "It's showing us how to modify our shields." The next few minutes were a flurry of activity as the crew worked to implement the alien child's suggestions. Chen didn't understand half of what she was seeing, but she trusted her team. Just as another barrage of enemy fire approached, the horizon's shields flared to life with a renewed strength and a strange shimmering quality. "Direct hit," Crotchfell exclaimed, then his voice filled with wonder. "But no damage, Captain. The shields aren't just blocking their weapons, they're absorbing the energy." Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Well done, everyone. Now let's show them what we can do with that energy." Weapons prepared to return fire, the tide of the battle turned in that moment. The horizon danced through space, its newly enhanced shields shrugging off attacks while its weapons, now supercharged with the absorbed energy, tore through the enemy ship's defenses. As the alien fleet began to retreat, Chen ordered a ceasefire. "Let them go," she commanded. "We've made our point." With the immediate threat neutralized, Chen made her way to the quarantine bay, determination in her stride. It was time to properly meet their unexpected ally. The alien child was huddled in a corner, its large eyes fixed on Chen as she entered. Dr. Rodriguez stood nearby, a mix of awe and concern on her face. "How do we communicate with it?" Chen asked. Rodriguez handed her a tablet. "It's been drawing. I think it's trying to tell us its story." Chen studied the images on the screen. They showed an advanced civilization, a terrible war, and a desperate escape. But more than that, they showed a being that was different, feared, and ultimately cast out by its own people. "It's a hybrid," Rodriguez explained softly, "created by combining DNA from multiple species. Its own people saw it as an abomination, a threat to their genetic purity. They wanted to destroy it, but someone, maybe its creator, helped it escape." Chen felt a surge of empathy for the small creature before her, abandoned, hunted, alone in a vast and uncaring universe. Until now. Slowly, carefully, she extended her hand, palm up, in a universal gesture of peace and offering. For a long moment, the alien simply stared, then, with a hesitancy born of fear and hope, it reached out its own hand, a delicate six-fingered appendage, and placed it in Chen's. A warmth spread through Chen's mind, and suddenly she could understand, not words exactly, but feelings, images, concepts. The alien, whose name roughly translated to Starborn, was sharing its thoughts directly. Gratitude, fear, hope, a desperate plea for help, not just for itself, but for countless others like it, hidden away on worlds. Chen squeezed Starborn's hand gently. "You're safe now," she said, knowing that while the words might not be understood, the sentiment behind them would be. "We'll protect you, and we'll help the others too." As she stood, Chen's comm unit beeped. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from Earth." Gojpel's voice came through. "It's Fleet Admiral Kensington." Chen took a deep breath. The real challenge was just beginning. She would have to convince her superiors, her entire species, to take a stand for this alien child and others like it, to potentially go to war with an advanced alien civilization, to change the course of human history. But as she looked down at Starborn and saw the trust and hope in those alien eyes, she knew it was the right thing to do. Humanity had reached the stars not just to explore, but to make a difference, to stand up for what was right, no matter the odds. "Patch the Admiral through to my private comm," Chen ordered, her resolve hardening. "And tell the crew to prepare for a long journey. We're not going home just yet. Journey through the stars." The UES Horizon streaked through the cosmos, its enhanced engines pushing the limits of human technology. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the view screen, watching as unfamiliar star systems blurred past. It had been 3 weeks since their encounter with Starborn and the subsequent battle, 3 weeks of tense negotiations with Earth, of preparing for a journey into the unknown. "Captain, we're approaching the coordinates Starborn provided." Lieutenant Gojpel's voice broke through her reverie. Chen nodded, her face a mask of determination. "Bring us out of FTL. Let's see what we're dealing with." As the horizon decelerated, a massive structure came into view. It was a space station, but unlike anything humans had ever constructed. Its design was organic, almost alive, with sweeping curves and pulsing bioluminescent patterns. "My God," breathed Dr. Rodriguez, who had joined them on the bridge. Starborn, now a constant presence on the bridge, trilled softly through their growing telepathic bond. Chen sensed a mix of emotions from the alien child, hope, fear, and a deep longing. "This is where the others are," Chen asked, receiving a mental affirmation in response. "All right, let's do this by the book," she said. "Scan for life signs, energy signatures, anything that could pose a threat." As the crew busied themselves with preparations, Chen couldn't help but reflect on the enormity of their mission. They were about to attempt a rescue operation of unprecedented scale, freeing countless hybrid aliens from what amounted to an intergalactic prison camp. The potential for disaster was immense, but so was the potential for a new era of interspecies cooperation. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "Captain, we've got multiple ships dropping out of FTL," Lieutenant Gujpal reported, his voice tense and urgent. "It's not just the ones we fought before, it's like half the galaxy is bearing down on us." Chen's heart raced, but she kept her voice calm. "Understood, Lieutenant. Prepare for emergency maneuvers, but hold your position." She turned back to the view screen, where the massive organic space station loomed. Whatever came next, they were committed to this path. Humanity had made first contact, and they would see it through, no matter the cost. "Open a channel," Chen ordered. "It's time we had a word with our new friends." Moments later, a familiar harsh voice crackled over the comms. "Foolish humans, you dare to trespass in sacred space. Your interference ends now. Surrender the abomination and leave, or be destroyed." Chen stepped forward, her voice steady and resolute. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UAS Horizon. We are here on a humanitarian mission to rescue those you have unjustly imprisoned. We have no quarrel with your people, but we will not stand by while innocent lives are threatened." A derisive laugh echoed through the bridge. "Innocent? These aberrations are a threat to the purity of all species. They are mistakes, errors in the cosmic order. Your primitive minds cannot comprehend the danger they pose." As the alien commander spoke, Chen felt a surge of emotion from Starborn. Images flashed through her mind, generations of hybrid children, born in secret, each with unique gifts and abilities. She saw the fear of the pure species, their desperate attempts to maintain what they saw as the natural order, and she saw the potential, the incredible advancements that could be made if these hybrids were allowed to thrive. With newfound resolve, Chen addressed the alien fleet. "You're wrong. These beings you call mistakes are the future. They represent the best of what all our species can be when we work together, when we embrace diversity instead of fearing it. We will not abandon them, and we will not let you destroy them." For a moment, there was silence, then without warning, the enemy ships opened fire. The battle that ensued was unlike anything in human history. The Horizon, enhanced by Starborn's knowledge, held its own against the technologically superior force, but they were still outnumbered, and Chen knew they couldn't last forever. As energy beams, crossed the void and shields flared with each impact, Chen felt a tugging on her mind. Starborn was communicating, not just with her, but with the hybrids on the station. They were awakening, the combined mental powers reaching out across space. Suddenly, the station itself came to life. Massive organic tendrils unfurled, swatting enemy ships aside like insects. Beams of pure psychic energy lanced out, disabling weapons and drive systems. The tide of the battle turned in an instant, the enemy fleet caught off guard by this unexpected resistance. As the last enemy ship disappeared into FTL, Chen turned to her crew, her voice ringing with determination. "Well done, everyone. But our mission isn't over. We need to get those hybrids to safety before reinforcements arrive." Over the next several hours, the Horizon's crew worked tirelessly alongside the awakened hybrids to evacuate the station. Each alien was unique, some humanoid, others defying easy description, but all bearing the marks of their mixed heritage. As the last group was transported aboard, Shen felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. The hybrids, through Starborn, were thanking them, not just for the rescue, but for seeing them as people worthy of saving. With the station emptied, Shen gave the order to depart, but as they prepared to jump to FTL, a massive ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel directly in their path. It dwarfed the Horizon, its design a perfect fusion of organic and technological elements. A new voice, deep and resonant, filled the bridge. The Cosmic Council. The massive ship that had appeared before the UES Horizon dwarfed the human vessel, its design a perfect fusion of organic and technological elements. A deep, resonant voice filled the bridge. Children of Earth and stars, we have been watching you. You have proven yourselves worthy. The time has come for us to meet. Captain Sarah Chen exchanged glances with her crew, then with Starborn. Whatever came next would change the course of history for all their species. With a deep breath, she stepped forward. "We're ready," she said, her voice firm and clear. "Let's talk." As Chen and her team were enveloped in a shimmering teleportation field, she couldn't help but feel a mix of trepidation and excitement. Their journey through the stars had led them to this moment, and whatever lay ahead, she knew humanity would face it with courage, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to doing what was right. The horizon and its newfound allies were about to come face to face with the true power of the cosmos. When the teleportation field dissipated, Chen found herself, along with Dr. Rodriguez and Starborn, standing in a vast chamber unlike anything she had ever seen. The walls seemed to shift and pulse with living light, and the air itself felt charged with an otherworldly energy. Before them stood a diverse array of beings, some vaguely humanoid, others defying easy description, but all exuding an aura of ancient wisdom and immense power. At the center was a tall, ethereal figure with silvery skin and eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies. "Welcome, children of Earth and stars," the central figure spoke, its voice resonating not just in their ears, but in their minds. "I am Zephyrus, and we are the Cosmic Council." Chen stepped forward, her voice steady despite her awe. "We're honored to be here, but I have to ask, why now? Why didn't you intervene when the hybrids were being persecuted?" Zephyrus' expression was unreadable. "The path of evolution is complex, Captain. Sometimes species must find their own way, make their own choices. Your actions, choosing to protect those different from you, to stand up for what you believe is right even in the face of superior force, have proven that humanity is ready for the next step." Dr. Rodriguez couldn't contain her scientific curiosity. "Are you saying you've been guiding our evolution?" A sound like chiming crystals filled the air, laughter Chen realized as another council member, a being that seemed to be made of living flames, spoke. "Guided, no. Observed, yes. You humans have a saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We have the power to shape worlds, to create or destroy entire species, but we choose to let life find its own path, intervening only when the balance of the cosmos is at stake." Chen's mind raced with the implications. The hybrids they had rescued, they were part of this balance, this cosmic order. Zephyrus nodded. "They are the next step in cosmic evolution, a melding of species, of abilities, of perspectives. They represent the potential for unity in diversity, a lesson many species struggle to learn." Starborn trilled softly, and Chen felt a wave of emotion through their bond, validation, hope, and a deep sense of purpose. "The beings you rescued," Zephyrus continued, "are but a fraction of those in hiding across the galaxy. Your actions have set in motion events that will reshape the cosmic order. But be warned, not all will welcome this change. The road ahead will be fraught with danger." Chen straightened her resolve, hardening. "We're prepared to face whatever comes, but we can't do it alone. We need guidance, knowledge, the power to make a real difference." The council members exchanged glances, seeming to communicate silently. Finally, Zephyrus spoke again. "We will provide what aid we can, within the bounds of cosmic law. But the true strength must come from within, from humanity, from the hybrids, from all those who believe in a future of unity." Suddenly, alarms blared from Chen's communicator. "Lieutenant Kuchpel, report," she barked. "Captain, we've got multiple fleets converging on our position." Kuchpel's voice came through, tense and urgent. "It's not just the ones we fought before, it's like half the galaxy is bearing down on us." Chen's heart raced, but she kept her voice calm. "Understood, Lieutenant. Prepare for emergency maneuvers, but hold your position." She turned back to the council, a new determination in her eyes. "It seems our time is short. What do you propose we do?" Zephyrus raised a hand, and a shimmering hologram of the galaxy appeared in the center of the chamber. The balance has shifted, the ethereal being said. War looms on the horizon, a war that could tear the fabric of space-time itself, but there is hope. The hologram zoomed in on a distant sector of space. There is an ancient artifact created by those who came before even us. It has the power to unite minds across vast distances, to foster understanding between all sapient beings. If you can find it and activate it, you may yet prevent this war and usher in a new era of peace. Chen nodded, her mind already formulating plans. We'll do it, but we'll need help, allies, resources. You shall have them, Zephyrus assured her. We will send word to those who support your cause. But remember, Captain, the greatest power lies not in weapons or technology, but in the hearts and minds of those who fight for what is right. As if on cue, the chamber began to shimmer, the teleportation field returning. Our time grows short, Zephyrus said. You must return to your ship and prepare for the journey ahead. The fate of the galaxy rests in your hands. Chen felt the familiar tingle of teleportation beginning, but before they vanished, she locked eyes with Zephyrus. We won't let you down, she promised. The cosmic chamber faded away, replaced by the familiar surroundings of the horizon's bridge. Chen wasted no time. Status report, she barked. Multiple fleets approaching from all vectors, Captain, Crotchpel reported, but you need to see this. On the view screen, ships of all shapes and sizes appeared, pouring out of FTL, but instead of attacking, they were forming a protective ring around the horizon. A chorus of voices filled the comms. This is the Arcturian Defense Force. We stand with Earth and the hybrids. Siren Collective reporting in. Our ships are at your disposal, Captain. Pleiadian peacekeepers here. Let's show these separatists the power of unity. Chen felt a lump in her throat. They weren't alone, far from it. All right, people, she said, her voice ringing with determination. We've got a galaxy to save and an artifact to find. Let's make history. As the horizon and its newfound allies prepared to jump to FTL, Chen caught Starborn's eye. The alien child was no longer huddled and afraid, but standing tall, its multifaceted gaze filled with a renewed sense of purpose. The journey ahead would be perilous, but with humanity, the hybrids, and the mysterious powers of the Cosmic Council at their backs, Chen knew they were ready to face whatever challenges lay in wait. The stars themselves seemed to tremble with anticipation, for a new chapter in the annals of the galaxy was about to begin. Forging an intergalactic alliance, the UES Horizon emerged from the FTL jump, surrounded by a diverse fleet of ships, Arcturian Defense Forces, Siren Collectives, Pleiadian peacekeepers, and countless others who had answered the call to arms. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the assembled vessels with a mix of awe and determination. Communications, open a channel to all ships, she ordered. I want every commanding officer on the line. Moments later, a chorus of voices filled the bridge, each representing a different alien species, but all united in their resolve to stand against the coming darkness. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Horizon, Chen began, her voice clear and unwavering. You all know why we're here, to find an ancient artifact that can unite our minds, our species, and prevent a war that could tear the galaxy apart. She paused, letting her words sink in. But we can't do this alone. We're going to need every ship, every resource, every tactical advantage we can get. Are you with us? The response was immediate and resounding. Pledges of support, offers of cooperation, and vows of loyalty echoed through the comm system, and Chen felt a surge of hope. Humanity was no longer alone in its fight for the future. Excellent, she said, allowing herself a small smile. Then, let's get to work. Our first stop is the coordinates provided by the Cosmic Council. Helm, set a course, maximum FTL. And remember, everyone, this is a stealth operation. We need to move quickly and quietly. No heroics, no unnecessary risks. The stakes are too high. As the Horizon and its allied fleet slipped back into FTL, Chen turned to her senior staff, her expression grave. "I don't need to tell you that this mission is unlike anything we've ever attempted," she said. "We're venturing into uncharted territory, both literally and figuratively. But I have faith in all of you, and in the cause we're fighting for." She fixed each of them with a determined gaze. "We're not just fighting for humanity, or for the hybrids. We're fighting for the future of the entire galaxy. Failure is not an option. Do you understand?" A chorus of affirmations echoed through the bridge, and Chen nodded, satisfied. "Good. Then let's get to it. I want full tactical and strategic assessments, along with contingency plans for every possible scenario. And someone get in touch with our new friends in the Cosmic Council. We're going to need their guidance if we're going to pull this off." As the crew dispersed to their tasks, Chen turned her attention to the viewscreen, watching the stars streak past. The journey ahead would be perilous, but she knew that with the combined might of humanity, the hybrids, and their newfound allies, they had a fighting chance. "Hang in there, little one," she murmured, glancing towards the sealed-off section of the ship where Starborn was being kept safe. "We're coming for you and all the others like you. Just hold on a little longer." The Horizon and its fleet continued their voyage, cutting a path through the vastness of space. Chen could feel the tension building, the anticipation of the coming confrontation. But she also felt a sense of purpose, a determination that burned brighter with every light year they traversed. They were on the cusp of something momentous, a pivotal moment in the history of the galaxy, and whatever lay in wait, Shan and her crew were ready to face it head-on, united in their cause and bolstered by the knowledge that they were not alone. As the fleet approached its destination, Chen took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenges that lay ahead. This was no longer just about humanity's first contact with alien civilizations. It was about forging an intergalactic alliance, one that could change the course of the cosmos forever. "All hands, prepare for drop out of FTL," she ordered, her voice steady and resolute. "It's time to see what the Cosmic Council has in store for us." The Horizon and its fleet emerged from the FTL jump, their sensors immediately sweeping the surrounding space for any signs of the ancient artifact. Chen's eyes narrowed as she scanned the tactical displays, searching for clues, for any advantage they could seize. "Captain, we're detecting unusual energy signatures in the nearby asteroid field," Crutchper reported, his fingers flying across the holographic interface. "It could be the artifact, but the readings are scrambled, almost as if it's being shielded." "Then that's where we need to go," Chen said, her jaw set with determination. "All ships, form up and prepare to enter the asteroid field. We need to move quickly and quietly. We don't know what we're up against." As the fleet maneuvered through the treacherous field of rocks and debris, Chen couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end, and she couldn't help but wonder if their enemies had anticipated their arrival. "Captain, we've got multiple contacts emerging from the asteroids." Crutchwell's voice rang out, laced with urgency. "They're not human, and they're armed to the teeth." Chen gripped the arms of her chair, her knuckles turning white. "All ships, defensive formation. Weapons, be ready to engage on my mark." As the enemy vessels surged forward, Chen took one last look at the tactical display, her mind racing. This was it, the moment they had been preparing for. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and they were the only ones who could tip the scales. "For the future of the cosmos," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. Fire. The battle that ensued was a chaotic, swirling dance of energy beams and maneuvers, with both sides fighting fiercely for control of the artifact's location. Chen watched the displays with a mixture of anxiety and pride, her crew executing their tactics with precision and determination. But as the fight raged on, she couldn't help but wonder, would their efforts be enough? Had they truly forged the alliances necessary to prevail against the overwhelming might of their foes? The answer would soon become clear, as the outcome of this pivotal clash would determine the course of the galaxy for generations to come. The future was in their hands, and failure was simply not an option. Battle for the cosmos. The asteroid field erupted in a dazzling display of light and energy as the UES Horizon and its allied fleet engaged the enemy vessels. Captain Sarah Chen gripped the arms of her chair, her eyes narrowed in concentration as she directed the intricate dance of ships and weapons. "All ships, focus fire on their forward shields," she ordered, her voice clear and commanding. "We need to punch through and get to that artifact." The battle raged on, with both sides fighting fiercely for control of the ancient device that could potentially decide the fate of the galaxy. Chen watched the tactical displays, her mind racing as she weighed every option, every possible outcome. "Captain, we're taking heavy damage on the port side." Grothel's voice broke through the chaos. "Shields at 47% and dropping." Chen's jaw tightened. "Reroute auxiliary power to the port shields and have the Siren corvettes provide cover fire. We can't lose that flank." As the battle raged on, Chen couldn't help but marvel at the sheer scope of the conflict. What had started as a rescue mission for a single stranded alien child had blossomed into an intergalactic struggle for the very future of the cosmos. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the fate of countless civilizations hung in the balance. "Captain, we're picking up a massive energy surge from the artifact's location," Grothel suddenly reported, his eyes widening. "It's like nothing I've ever seen before." Chen felt a chill run down her spine. On screen now. The view screen flickered, and a scene of pure chaos unfolded before them. The asteroid where the artifact was hidden had erupted in a blinding display of power, its energy lashing out in all directions, decimating ships from both sides. "What the hell is happening?" Chen whispered, her breath catching in her throat. "Starboard side, we're detecting a massive power buildup in the artifact itself." Gruthel's voice was tinged with a mix of awe and terror. "It's like it's preparing to unleash some kind of devastating blast." Chen's mind raced, desperately searching for a solution. If that artifact was allowed to discharge its energy, it could tear the entire system apart, along with every ship and crew within it. "All ships, evasive maneuvers," she barked into the comm. "Get as far away from that artifact as possible, now." As the fleet scrambled to comply, Chen turned to her tactical officer, her eyes burning with determination. "Target that artifact with everything we've got. If we can't disrupt its power buildup, we may have to destroy it and risk the consequences." The Horizon's weapon systems lit up, pouring a withering barrage of energy beams and missiles towards the artifact's location. Chen watched with bated breath, praying that their efforts would be enough. But as the attack reached its target, a searing bolt of energy erupted from the artifact, shattering the incoming projectiles and surging towards the horizon with blinding speed. "Brace for impact," Chen shouted, bracing herself for the inevitable. The bridge shuddered violently as the blast slammed into the horizon's shields, sending shockwaves rippling through the entire vessel. Chen gripped the arms of her chair, her knuckles turning white as she fought to maintain her balance. "Damage report," she barked, her voice strained. "Shields at 22% and failing." Crutchfell's voice was laced with panic. "Hull breaches on decks 4 and 7, life support systems compromised." Chen's jaw clenched. They were running out of time, and the artifact's power showed no signs of diminishing. If they couldn't find a way to shut it down, the Horizon and its entire fleet would be annihilated. Suddenly, a familiar voice echoed through the bridge, resonating in their minds. "Humans of Earth, you must act now. Channel the artifact's power. Do not destroy it." It was Zephyrus, the enigmatic leader of the Cosmic Council. Chen's eyes widened with understanding. "All ships, cease fire," she ordered, her voice ringing with urgency. "Target the artifact with your tractor beams, full power." As the fleet complied, a massive beam of energy erupted from the horizon, enveloping the artifact and drawing it towards the battered vessel. The other ships followed suit, lending their strength to the effort, And slowly, the artifact began to respond, its energy output fluctuating wildly. "It's working," Gutfeld exclaimed, his fingers dancing across his console. "The artifact's power is stabilizing, the energy surge is dissipating." Chen felt a surge of hope, but she knew their battle was far from over. The enemy ships were regrouping, their weapons trained on the vulnerable horizon and its precious cargo. "All ships, prepare for a final push," she commanded, her voice ringing with determination. "We need to secure that artifact at all costs. Helm, bring us in close maximum thrust." As the horizon and its allied fleet surged forward, Chen knew that this was the moment of truth. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and they were the only ones who could tip the scales. "For the future of the cosmos," she cried, her words echoing through the bridge. "Fire." The battle that followed was a blur of light and sound, with both sides pouring every ounce of their strength into the struggle. Chen watched the tactical displays, her heart pounding, as the horizon and its allies fought tooth and nail to reach the artifact and secure its power. And then, just as it seemed that all hope was lost, a blinding flash of light filled the void, and a shockwave of pure energy swept across the battlefield, rippling through the very fabric of space-time itself. When the light finally faded, Chen blinked, her eyes adjusting to the scene before her. The enemy ships were gone, their hulls reduced to scrap metal and drifting debris. But the horizon and its allies remained, battered and bruised, but triumph gleaming in their eyes. "We did it," Chen whispered, her voice tinged with disbelief. "We actually did it." As the crew erupted in cheers and celebrations, Chen felt a weight lift from her shoulders. The battle for the cosmos had been won, and humanity had taken its place among the stars as an equal, a force to be reckoned with. But even as the adrenaline of the battle began to fade, Chen knew that the true challenges were only just beginning. With the artifacts secured, the path forward was uncertain, and the future of the galaxy hung in the balance. Turning to her crew, she met their gazes with a steely determination. "This is only the beginning, people. The real work starts now. Let's get this artifact back to Earth and show them what we've accomplished out here. The galaxy is about to change, and we're going to be at the forefront of it all." As the horizon and its allied fleet set a course for home, Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and purpose. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and they had proven themselves worthy. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if in celebration of this momentous achievement. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Chen knew that they were ready. United with their newfound allies and empowered by the ancient artifact, they would forge a path to a future of peace, understanding, and endless possibilities. The journey had only just begun, but the human spirit had never been stronger. And as the horizon streaked through the void of space, Chen couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope for a galaxy united, and a destiny that was theirs to shape. A new dawn. The UES Horizon emerged from FTL, its hull scarred and its systems taxed, but its crew more resolute than ever. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the familiar sight of Earth looming before them. "Open a channel to Fleet Command," she ordered, her voice calm and steady. "It's time we bring them up to speed." As the communication link was established, the face of Admiral Kensington appeared on the view screen, his expression a mix of relief and concern. "Captain Chen, it's good to see you and your crew back in one piece. We've been monitoring the situation out there, and I must say, your actions have been rather unprecedented." Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Unprecedented, perhaps, but necessary, Admiral. We've made first contact, not just with a single alien race, but with an entire galactic community. And we've secured a powerful artifact that could change the course of history." Kensington's eyes widened, and he leaned forward in his chair. "Are you saying you forged an alliance with extraterrestrial civilizations?" "That's exactly what I'm saying, sir," Chen replied. "And we're going to need your support, both political and military, to navigate the challenges that lie ahead." The Admiral's brow furrowed as he considered her words. You realize the implications of what you're proposing, Captain. This could be the single most significant event in the history of mankind. I'm well aware, Admiral, Chen said, her gaze unwavering. Which is why I'm requesting that you grant me and my crew full autonomy in our dealings with the Cosmic Council and our new alien allies. We need the freedom to act quickly and decisively without the encumbrance of bureaucratic red tape. Kensington was silent for a long moment, his eyes searching Chen's face. Finally, he sighed and nodded. Very well, Captain. You've more than earned that authority. Bring that artifact back to Earth, and we'll convene an emergency session of the United Nations to discuss our next steps. Understood, sir, Chen replied, relief washing over her. We'll be back on Earth within the next 72 hours. Horizon out. As the communication link closed, Chen turned to her crew, a newfound sense of purpose in her eyes. All right, people, listen up. We've got a lot of work to do, and very little time to do it. First, I want a full damage assessment and repair schedule. I want this ship running at peak efficiency before we set foot on Earth. She paused, her gaze sweeping across the faces of her crew. Second, I need a detailed report on our new alien allies, their capabilities, their motivations, and any intel we can gather on the forces we're up against. We need to be prepared for whatever comes next. Chen's expression hardened, her voice taking on a steely edge. And finally, I want someone to get in touch with the Cosmic Council. We need their guidance, their support, and their resources if we're going to navigate the challenges ahead. This is no longer just about humanity, it's about the future of the entire galaxy. A chorus of affirmations echoed through the bridge, and Chen allowed herself a small nod of satisfaction. Her crew was ready, just as she knew they would be. All right, people, let's get to work. The fate of the cosmos is in our hands, and we're not going to let it down. As the Horizon's crew dispersed to their tasks, Chen turned her gaze towards the distant stars, her mind racing with the implications of all they had accomplished. First contact had been made, alliances had been forged, and a new era of interstellar cooperation was on the horizon. But even as she felt a surge of pride and accomplishment, Chen couldn't shake the nagging sense of unease. The battle for the cosmos was far from over, and the challenges that lay ahead were unlike anything humanity had ever faced. We're not ready for this, are we? She murmured, her eyes scanning the stars as if seeking answers. And yet, as she looked around at the faces of her crew, their determination and resolve unwavering, she knew that they were more ready than they had ever been. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, and they were ready to meet the challenges of the galaxy head-on. With a deep breath, Chen turned back to the view screen, her eyes shining with a newfound confidence. All right, old friend, she said, addressing the battered horizon as if it were a living, sentient being. Let's show them what we're made of. As the ship's engines rolled to life, propelling them towards Earth and the dawning of a new era, Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and trepidation. The journey had only just begun, but the human spirit had never been stronger. The stars themselves seemed to tremble with anticipation, for a new chapter in the annals of the galaxy was about to begin. And with humanity at the forefront, the future of the cosmos had never looked brighter.